and once the entry is triggered and the order is filled, it'll actually send these orders to the market. This take profit 1, take profit 2, and the stop loss here. You know that we open 3 lots, so we have 3 stops here: stop 3, stop 2, and stop 1. And we can select the time frames that we will be using for trailing those stops. Naturally, the smaller the time frame, the tighter the stops are going to be. Stop 3 is used when there are 3 trades open. So as soon as the position opens, which it looks like it might be getting ready to open here, we will have all 3 lots open, so stop 3 is what will kick in, which means it will be using the swings on the 5-minute time frame. So here's these swing highs here. These are the swings. So stop 3 will be using 5-minute time frame swings. If we chose 15-minute time frame, well, swings occur less frequently on a 15-minute time frame, which would put that stop wider. Once take profit 1 is hit, we only have 2 lots left. So stop 2 time frame will kick in. Well, in this case, we still have the 5-minute selected, which means it will stay and trail down on 5-minute swing highs. So for example, if it was initially set back here, then it might drop down to here and then drop down to here. So as it drops and we get swings on the 5-minute time frame, that's where it will set those stops. As soon as take profit 2 is hit, there's only 1 lot left, so stop 1 kicks in. Now I'm going to change this to 1 minute. Let's say, hey, once it reaches this far, the odds of it reversing and starting to move back up increase, and so I'm going to tighten my stop down. Instead of just following it down on the swing highs on the 5-minute time frame, maybe we'll drop down and follow it down on the swing highs of the 1-minute time frame. So once take profit 2 is hit, then we'll tighten up the stop. Our other option is to say, hey, you know what, the bigger time frame, the longer picture, maybe on the daily or the weekly, it looks like this could drop for a while, and so maybe I want to widen my stop and give it more room, and so I might back it off to an hour time frame. All right, we just dropped through and filled. You'll notice I'm going to close this, and you'll see down here that we've opened the position. It's no longer pending order. The color has changed from yellow to red, meaning the position is now open. And so these stop losses have been sent, these take profits have been sent, and this is the commission that was charged. Swap will kick in when it gets held over the day changeover. And because of spreads, naturally we're going to be down the minute we open a trade, and this is showing the running balance. So I'm going to open this back up, and let's say that we change this to the 1 minute. Once it hits our second take profit, we want to tighten up our stop on our last one. We're not going to give it a lot of wiggle room. And basically that's what these stops are. We're saying, how much wiggle room do you want to give it? 1 minute is the least amount of wiggle room, because it's going to, lots and lots of swings on a 1 minute. The wider the time frame, the larger the time frame that we use, the more wiggle room we're going to give it. And so you'll know from going through the training what's the right appropriate balance to use. This way these parameters are set. Now since I've changed this to a 1 minute, I'm going to select update, and it's going to send those new parameters to the server in the management. Now you notice it's processing that right now. Nothing changed here because we haven't gotten to that that point of these first 2 take profits. So that's not going to show up until this take profit is hit and then this take profit is hit. It's sort of an kind of an interesting thing here. is this second take profit is designed to take profit at kind of a wholesale level, assuming that this continues to move all that way. All right, let's show you something else here. I'll pull the trade manager back on top. We'll open that jet back up and deal with some risk management here. Now we've already showed you what aggressive versus non-aggressive will do here. If you select aggressive, it sells both lots 1 and 2 at the first take profit. So if in this kind of a situation where we've mostly got a consolidating market, that's probably a good idea. If you're in a good downtrend and you think the odds are pretty good that it's going to move to the second take profit, then uncheck aggressive. By checking aggressive and selecting update, it's going to move the take profit on both lots 1 and 2 here to the first take profit. And notice how it did that. It updated, eliminated the take profit too. So once it hits this first target, it's going to sell lots 1 and 2, which means this stop 2 will no longer be important, and it'll immediately go to the 1 minute time frame at that point with trailing the stops. So it'll start to tighten those stops up fairly closely once that take profit is hit. We also have a check box here for enabling risk management. If you don't want risk management to be enabled, you can uncheck that. Now down here we have a few selections. Let me tell you what those mean. The basic idea is once a trade moves your direction, for example, it moves this direction, it hits take profits, there's no reason to take a loss on the trade. Now initially you have to give a trade enough room to wiggle, which is why we set the stops out a little bit wide to give it that chance. But we're playing this for a rollover. But once it moves, there's no reason for it to move this far and then have it come back and to be stopped out at a loss on the trade. So the idea is to give it enough room, but not too much. So if we enable risk management, we can say, you know what? If it moves with 1 ATR, then tighten up our lock pips and lock in five pips of profit target. Now on a smaller time frame like this, when our target is only 10 pips, that's not too reasonable. On a larger time frame, then that makes a lot of sense. So there's basically 3 ways that we can tell